ביאור משנה ח'. explanation for משנה ח'. אגב המשנה הקודמת, because of the previous משנה, מובאת כאן הלכה דומה בענייני קודשים. We're going to learn a similar law when it comes to קודשים. קודשים are sacrifices that a person is required to eat in ירושלים, within the walls of ירושלים. He's not allowed to take them out of the walls. And there's different sacrifices, some are 24 hours, some are a little bit more, but there's... וכן, מי שיצא מירושלים, a person is going back from his home, from ירושלים back to his house in באר שבע, ונזכר שיש בידו בשר קודש, and he says, oh, I have a little bit of meat that I didn't eat yet, holy meat. He says, what should I do now? What can you do? בשר קודשים קלים, this is flesh, meat of light קודשים, which means the severe קודשים, severe holiness, and this is light holiness. There's less severe than other ones. כגון בשר שלמים, for example, it is when you bring a peace offering, you take the meat and you eat the meat in ירושלים. והרי נפסל ביציאתו מירושלים. So as soon as it leaves the walls of ירושלים, this meat becomes unedible. You're not allowed to eat it anymore. שקודשים קלים...
Even if you go back to ירושלים to eat it.
That's right. Once it leaves the walls, it's done. שקודשים קלים נאכלים בכל העיר, that קודשים קלים are allowed to be eaten, the sacrifice are allowed to be eaten in the entire city limit, ונפסלים ביוצא מחוץ לחומה, and it's immediately when they go out of the wall, they become no good. וכל שנפסל ביוצא, טעון שריפה, and now when it comes out, you need to burn it. So it says like this, אם עבר צופים, if he passed the mountain of scopes, הר צופים, שם מקום, it's the name of a place, שמשם רואים את בית המקדש, that over there, from over that place, you see the temple. ויש מפרשים, there are those who says, ההרים שב מסביב לירושלים. It says, it doesn't mean that particular mountain, it says any mountain that surrounds ירושלים. שרואים מהם את העיר. So once you're on the top of the mountain and you go on the other side, you don't see the city anymore, that's it. You don't have this rule. But if you still see ירושלים, this rule clicks in. What rule? שרואים מתוך העיר, ויש שההרים שהם סביב, לירושלים שרואים את העיר. So in other words, if you don't see ירושלים anymore, you have to burn it right where it is, right where you are. If you don't see ירושלים, burn it right there.
That means that you can burn it when you see ירושלים.
Oh, we see what you have to do. We don't know what yet. So for במקומו, so if you're outside of the city, you can't have a vision of the city, you burn it where you are. שורף את בשר הקודש שבידו במקום שנזכר. He immediately burns the sacrifice at the place that he remembers. שלא יטרחוהו לחזור משם. They tell him, go back to ירושלים. ואם לאו, but if he can still see ירושלים, שלא עבר עדיין צופים, in other words, he can still scope ירושלים, he can still have eyesight of the city, חוזר, he needs to also burn it, but he's not allowed to burn it where he is. He has to burn it where? In ושורפו לפני הבירה. He has to burn it before the בירה. Oh, interesting. Maybe עיר הבירה that we say comes from it. But let's see what בירה means. Never realize that. בעזרה או בהר הבית. בירה means either in the עזרה, in where the Ezrat Israel is, the court for the Jews, or anywhere in the Temple Mount. But you have to be on the grounds of the Temple Mount. שכן נחלקו המוראים, because we have a disagreement, בעניין הבירה. It says, what is בירה? רבי יוחנן אומר, Rabbi Yochanan says, מקום היה בהר הבית, it was a specific place on the Temple Mount, ובירה שמו, and it had the name בירה. וריש לקיש אומר, but ריש לקיש says, שכל המקדש כולו קרוי בירה. It says, no, the entire Temple Mount is called בירה. Not just this specific place. שנאמר, ולבנות הבירה אשר הכינותי. Because this is in דברי הימים, it says to build the bira, the big city, the big temple that I prepared. So he needs to burn the מעצי המערכה. ושורפו לפני הבירה, and he needs to burn it in front of the בירה, מעצי המערכה, from the woods of the מערכה. In other words, from the woods of the מזבח. he needs to use.
And don't
Yeah, in other words, because it's holy, so burn it in a holy manner.
wow.
המוכנים למזבח, you have to use the wood that are prepared for the altar. במפרשים מבואר הטעם, in the commentaries explains that the reason, ששורפו לפני הבירה, that he burns it before the בירה. לפי שלמדים מחטאת, we learn from the sin offering, שקודשים שנפסלו, מצווה לשורפם במקום אכילותם. From sin offering, you know that if one of the sacrifices of the sin offerings, you have to burn them if they become impure at the place that you eat them. So in other words, you're not even allowed to live. ועיין תוספות יום טוב. Okay, so you have to burn it right over there. ויש מערים, and there are those who says, שאומנם מותר לשרפה בירושלים, it says it's not like sin offering, and you're actually allowed to burn it in the entire ירושלים, because you can eat it all of ירושלים. שהוא מקום אכילתם שכלים. It says, sin offering, you're not allowed to take out of the azara. You have to eat it right over there, but this you're allowed to go out in ירושלים. אלא שמדובר כאן באורח. But we're talking about over here a guest שאינו דר בירושלים. He doesn't live in ירושלים. So where is he going to get wood? The only wood available for him is going to be in the temple. ואין לו עצים. And he doesn't have wood. ילקח. So
he can't use a regular wood. He has to have this holy wood. Not holy.
no, he doesn't need to have, but he doesn't need to have a holy food. He can use any wood.
Oh.
But he says, where is he going to find wood? If he lives in Yerushalayim, he's going to find easily. Because he's got it there. He needs to warm up his house. But if this guy is a guest, he just came here, where's he going to go? Yeah. So he goes to Beit HaMikdash, he can use the wood. הילקח שורפו בעזרה מעצי המערכה. Therefore he burns it in the courtyard from the wood of the מערכה.
The general, he cannot go into the Azara, so he has to have the Kohen actually burn it for him. No? He can walk into that?
Yeah, the only place that you're not allowed to go is just the place where the Kohanim shecht and do the work. Everywhere else you're allowed to be. You can do whatever. It's not Batzad, it's where Ezrat Israelis. You know the big thing. You can do whatever you want. Those houses. Yeah. ועד כמה הם חוזרים? Let's continue. And until how much do you have to return? So what are we talking about here? Is another case. ההולך לשחוט את פסחו. Somebody goes to shecht his Pesach sacrifice, right? ונזכר שיש לו חמץ בתוך ביתו. And he remembered he has chametz inside his house. It says in Judaism everything has a measurement. By the way, we didn't yet get to a measurement koshehu in Pesach, if you notice. Yeah? It says what's the measurement that you have to go back to? It says do you have to go back to anything? Chametz left in your house to go and burn it before you do your Pesach sacrifice? So it says no.
Where do we learn measurement here?
We'll see. It says ועד כמה הן חוזרים. How much food do you...
Measurement of distance to come back, not measurement of chametz you have. If you want to learn it with fat, then tell him don't come back, no? No.
Come over here is not the measurement because we already have the measurement, the site of Yerushalayim. That we already know.
Is that measurement of
how much food or how much sacrifice?
How much if it's...
Either sacrifice or chametz in our case. Yeah. ועד כמה הן חוזרים, till how much do you have to go back, ההולך לשחוט פסחו ונזכר שלו חמץ בתוך ביתו, and you remember you have חמץ inside your house, וכן, also in our case that we just discussed, מי שיצא מירושלים, somebody who left Jerusalem, ונזכר שיש בידו בשר קודש, and he remembered that he has a sacrifice in his possession, כמה הוא שיעור החמץ, how much is the shiur, is the measurement that you need to go back to, ושיעור בשר הקודש שחייבים לחזור עליהם, or sacrifice that you need to get back to. רבי אומר זה וזה, רבי מאיר says both of them, חמץ and sacrifice, בין חמץ בין בשר קודש, שיעורם כביצה. They have a measurement. The measurement is whatever a meal is, like an egg. שסובר רבי מאיר, that רבי מאיר holds, חזרתו כתומתו. רבי מאיר is hold, when do you need to return it? For the same measurement, it becomes impure. Food only becomes impure if it's a kebetza. Therefore, less than that, you don't have to return. Ma tum'at ochlin, just like food does not become impure, shiura kebetza, unless it has the measurement of an egg. She'en ochel metame v'pachot mekebetza, because food does not get impure unless it has the measurement of at least the ביצה. אף חזרתו כביצה. So you have to return when you have an egg. אבל על פחות כביצה אינו חוזר. But less than that measurement, you don't even return. אלא חמץ מבטלו בליבו. חמץ, you can nullify in your heart. ובשר קודש שורפו במקומו. And the flesh of the sacrifice, you burn it in your place. So if you have a little bit of less of an egg of the sacrifice, and even you see Yerushalayim, your vision, you don't have to go back to the temple, you can burn it where it is, because it's less than the measurement. But if it's more than the measurement, then you have to go back. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, this is according to Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says, ze veze bechezait. He says no, he gives it a lesser of a measurement, it says it's an olive. שסופר רבי יהודה חזרתו כאיסורו. So it says, you return like the way it is forbidden. It is what is forbidden. מה איסורו שיעורו כזית. The forbiddenness. In other words, when you get lashes, if you eat the sacrifice. If you eat כזית, so he says just like, that's right. It says, מה שיעורו שיעורו כזית, שהאוכל כזית חמץ או בשר קודש נפסל חייב. That if you eat כזית חמץ or holiness is chayav, אף חזרתו שיעור כזית. Also there, the measurement is a כזית, not a כביצה.
אבל למה חמץ כזית?
חמץ is כזית. Less than the...
לא יראה ולא...
Yeah, but we said...
לא אמרת פירור קטן, זה כבר... אין, זה לא מתבטא.
So you remember what we said? You don't get a karet, but you over a love.
Oh.
You remember we said it?
Okay.
There's no karet, you're right.
Okay.
There's no karet, but you transgressed.
Okay.
You transgressed. Yeah.
Okay.
More than a kazait, it's a karet.
Yeah.
More than a kazait, it's a karet. But less than a kazait, it's not a karet.
Yeah.
But I don't say don't do it.
Lashes, you can get lashes.
I don't remember. It might be you can get lashes. I don't remember. Chachamim omrim, and the sages says, basar kodesh bechezait. They take both. They jump on both weddings. The sages are going to say, the sacrifices is kezait, mishum chomrat kodashim chozer. Af alav kezait basar kodesh שנמצא עמו. It is because sacrifices is very stringent, and it's stringent also only on a kezait, so therefore you have to go back. But in Pesach, the only measurement we have is the egg. Oh no, we also have a kezait. וחמץ כביצה, so why חמץ is like an egg? אבל ההולך לשחוט את פסחו, ונזכר שיש לו חמץ בבית, and he remembered that he has, somebody who goes to sacrifices, to go to Pesach, shecht Pesach sacrifice, and he remembered that there's חמץ in his house, כפי ששנינו במשנה הקודמת, אינו חוזר אלא שיעור כביצה. He only returns to the measurement of a kebeitza. I don't understand why.
I think we learned that we didn't learn about zayit. Only beitza in chametz.
In chametz it's beitza? So it's beitza.
So,
it says,
I don't remember zayit sham.
So it was probably kebeitza over there also. Yeah. והלכה כחכמים. So it says, since sacrifices, the prohibition is in a smaller amount, is a kazais, and chametz, the prohibition of karet, is in a kebeitza, each one according to his own. And who was it, Rabbi Meir or Rabbi Yehuda in the beginning? Yeah, Rabbi Yehuda says that it looks like you learn chametz from kodshim. He says, since you learn chametz from kodshim, I'm going to say it's a kazais, because I'm learning it from kodshim. Okay.